assessments for people that are ill, or like the ESA and that. It should be a doctor. It shouldn't be some bloody person that knows nothing about any health condition, or just the main types, who sits there on their high horse looking down at everybody else, and have you noticed you don't actually get to read what they're typing on their screen, and it could, God knows what they're writing. Hi guys, another article that's come on my Facebook log by Universal Credit. They took the TV in the dryer. Harry Dent can't read or write, and Universal Credit led to bailiffs at his door. Harry Dent says the benefit process does not support people who can't read, write, or use a computer. When bailiffs turned up at Harry Dent's Gateshead home to take his furniture, it was the lowest point of his life. In rent arrears, after being moved to Universal Credit, they took his household items, including a TV, dryer, a tablet, leaving him with his bed. Harry can't read, write, or use a computer, but was told by the Department for Work and Pension, DWP, that he should return to work after being reassessed. The stress of changing to Universal Credit has left Harry feeling suicidal. It's really bad. He said, "I used to get all my payments together when I got the new credit. I'm in debt with all sorts. Sometimes I feel like going out and jumping off a bridge. They came and took the TV, the dryer, and tablet. They never took the bed. No one told me they weren't paying my rent anymore." Under the new system, the housing benefit element is paid direct to the individual rather than the landlord, and via a monthly rather than fortnightly instalment, which Harry did not understand. In a bid to address his financial problems, he took out an advance payment of £750, but is now having to pay it back out of his benefits each month. This is why, if you don't have a family, or a lot of people are having to get these getting loans out. And I said to them, no. Luckily, as I said, I went to food banks and my family helped me out. But without that, that probably would happen to me. And then look, you're left bloody paying it back. He's left with around £50 per week to pay for his bills and buy food, leaving him to choose between heating his home and eating. "I can't always put the electric heating on," he said. "My bedroom is so cold I sleep on the sofa. I've been to the food bank until I get my money sorted out." The entire process has meant Harry's mental well-being has declined, and says the benefit system discriminates against people with learning disabilities, definitely, and mental health problems as well. To make a claim, people have to be able to use a computer, read, write, have an email account, remember passwords, and remember appointments. Exactly. Imagine that you're bloody homeless and you're trying to bloody apply for this. It's ridiculous. He said also the DWP and Maximus, I'm saying that right, which carries out the assessments, don't have the necessary experience to assess people with with disabilities. At his reassessment, Harry's assessor did not identify his learning disability, despite it being on his initial ESA form, and Harry didn't realise it needed to be mentioned. And when he went to the job centre, staff weren't able to give him the necessary support. He said, "I can't read or fill in forms." I said I couldn't fill in the job applications, and I didn't know what job they were expecting me to get. He said, "Going through this has been traumatic." Harry's story comes from the damning report by Gateshead Council, said Universal Credit is damaging the physical and mental health of residents. That's why there's an increase of bloody people killing themselves. Figures from the October last year revealed that there's 9,396 Gateshead residents on the benefit. The report said that bloody hell, can't say that, claim process made life difficult without computer skills, with those who don't have the access to a computer, email address, or bank account experiencing problems, especially the older generation as well. They're not all, some people don't even have a computer, for God's sake. During the process, Harry's been supported by Your Voice Counts, a charity that supports people with learning disabilities and mental health issues. Based in Gateshead, the project holds a weekly drop-in session for adults and learning disabilities who are experiencing social and financial disadvantage, with the most common and significant issue being welfare reform. Gary, who is a help through crisis work at the charity, said Universal Credit in particular discriminates against people with learning disabilities because in order to make a claim, you need to be able to use a computer, you need to be able to read and write, you need to be able to tell your own story and to talk about your situation in a really accurate way. The more of a disability you have, the more unlikely you are to do that. So people go to these assessments on their own sometimes and they don't understand. They are misleadingly assessed to believe that everything is fine when it is absolutely not. Gary regularly attends the assessment with people who use the charity and said it is the main problem with the process, with assessors taking answers at face value. He said, "They are not listening to the evidence I take there. They don't believe me, and we are banging our heads against a brick wall." They've just come to a terrible wrong decisions about people. We've appealed those decisions, and we ended up in tribunal, which can take up to 12 months because there is a backlog. I've been to 9, and 9 of my clients have been won. When you get to an independent body, the tribunal, which is really expensive for the taxpayer, they overturn the DWP decision, which I think is a rate of 70%. It's just a really frustrating year for people where they have made destitute and thrown into crisis. Harry is one of Gary's clients to the DWP decision overturned. After going to a tribunal, the original decision was overturned and the ESA benefit was reinstated. But the DWP said staff conducting assessments have at least 2 years post-registration clinical experience and training on a range of health conditions and disabilities. So I wouldn't know if it's about 2. Even if they just had 2, it's still rubbish, need more than that. To be honest, the people that are doing these assessments for people that are ill, or like the ESA and that, it should be a doctor. It shouldn't be some bloody person that knows nothing about any health condition or just the main types who sits there on their high horse looking down at everybody else and you know, have you noticed you don't actually get to read what they're typing on their screen, and it could, you know, God knows what they're writing. Okay, shall I go next to this? Right, so the DWP spokesperson said the Universal Credit staff give tailored support to people with learning disabilities, and all assessors have significant clinical experience. People need extra support can call our free phone helpline and Citizen Advice will deliver universal support from April to help vulnerable people for their claim. Yeah, good old Citizen Advice. Whenever you have a problem, like if I have a problem with anything, I usually go there. They're really good. But yeah, look at all these likes. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it? So now people are having their items being taken away from them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for watching my video.